One-on-one, bitch, they team. One-on-one, never again. One-on-one. When get the cake in the butter, I count it like hustle the money all in. Rhyme in the town in the drop top coupe in the motor in the trunk, you can hear.
Welcome to Voices in the Street Unfiltered. It's me, Austin McCall. I'm here with
Xavier Brandon.
And
your girl DesiiTeee.
And we are your new news team. Did I get it right? All right. Hi guys, it's us with Voices in the Street. Des.
Yes.
X.
What up?
We got a black man holding the camera.
Praise the Lord.
You know what I'm saying? We got Danje making sure he does his job.
Yep.
We're here.
Okay, you shouting out the
yeah. Shout out to the team. Shout out to
Slim
Slim
the
Brooklyn.
team. Shout out to
Slim Brooklyn.
Yeah, you shout out the niggas that help you. You know what I mean? It's early in the morning. We here.
Yep.
Ain't nobody ate breakfast yet, but we here to talk to you guys.
I had an apple.
That's not a breakfast.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
You eat shit like that for breakfast?
Yes, I do.
An apple a day.
Keep the doctors
Shut up,
away.
X.
Hey man.
I hate this nigga. He's got fucking phrases ready.
Hey man.
All right, so before the camera came on, Des was telling us about this nigga that's been hounding her. So go ahead.
Wait a minute.
What?
I did not tell y'all about nobody that was hounding me.
You did? That is what she was talking about.
My situation, not even a situation, it's actually what I've been seeing on social media is the girls are talking about the fans that be in our DMs.
Okay.
Have y'all been fans before?
Yeah, sure.
Have y'all when y'all seen?
Sure.
Define a fan.
A fan is somebody who constantly, every time you post something, gonna say something, gonna throw hard eyes at you, gonna heart your stuff, gonna always throw little comments because they watching and they're a fan of you.
What's wrong with that?
But when you give a fan, the issue that I'm seeing and I've also experienced is when you give a fan a chance.
Okay.
Okay. What happens when you give a fan a chance?
He's a fan because he was DMing you?
No, it's like a constant.
Yeah, he was letting you know he was
constant,
interested.
But say it's been for years.
Whoa.
Like
all right,
a
you were
fan
replying
for years.
though, right?
No, sometimes I have not replied.
You shouldn't give people
and then
a chance.
It goes years in between, and then, like for instance, I did have an ex-boyfriend that I made a fan. I mean, that I did have a fan that I made an ex-boyfriend, or I made a boyfriend. And it was like I met him in 2012. So from 2012 until maybe like 2017, obviously things happened in between there, and he was always sliding the DMs, always saying something, always throwing hard eyes, always just it's something about you.
He already hit?
No, from 2012 to like 2017, no.
Different.
It was just straight up always in the DMs.
Okay.
And then came 2018, we gave the fan a chance.
Okay.
And we ended up being together, but it just didn't work out. And so for me, and I think for a lot of women that I'm also seeing on social media, like there's a couple of clips going around that's like, do not give these fans a chance.
I don't like this conversation.
And, because you one of them,
I'm not a fan of what's going on. No,
I'm not a fan of what's going on.
Brother, please. Oh my God, nigga got a bomb going off. No, it's not. That shit just nasty, man.
No, so anyway.
This is her point of view, X.
And the reason I want to bring it up to y'all is I want to hear y'all's point of view on it because...
He don't got no point of view. It's just me.
Okay, Austin. You don't like the conversation because it feels like you are.
Oh, yeah, I feel attacked. That's what it is. Why are you laughing so fucking hard?
Because the fact that you feel attacked by her.
You don't know
her
what
experience.
Instagram is like when you're single.
You're right, I don't. I'm dumb.
That's crazy. You ain't never been on Instagram single. No, wait.
Yeah, I have. But I wasn't there for long.
He probably been on MySpace or something.
Well, that's crazy.
Black Planet.
I was on MySpace.
Or Facebook.
Black
I
Planet
was
ass
on
nigga.
Facebook.
I know
Single
what you
at
was on.
some point. I was
on
Twitter.
Was there a time?
Plenty of fish.
Was there a time you kept looking at a girl, or not looking at her, but every time she posted something?
I look at girls now and I give them hearts.
There wasn't even no
you know
stories.
what I'm saying? Like,
but
I'm not in the I'm not dropping comments.
But there was no stories in 2012 either.
Oh yeah, he was just sending you. He was sending you your own picture.
But then it was also Snapchat too.
I was on Snapchat.
You was getting it. Never mind.
No, I was not doing.
I made a Snapchat to get naked pictures. I didn't even know what Snapchat was.
I never did
some girl
that.
was like, "Hey, download this and I'll send them to you." Downloaded it, tried to go back. They weren't there.
I never did that on Snapchat.
That was the whole point. Well, I don't know. Snapchat came out when I was like 19, so it was a tumultuous time.
Well, that's where stories came from. Stories came from
right. Instagram will snatch your shit quick.
Instagram will snatch your shit quick.
They
Anyways, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
You give these fans a chance, and once you give them a chance, they basically waste your time. Like they, and at the end of it, or when you're in this relationship, you be like, dang, like you was just on my ass, and then now you got me, and you ain't even acting right.
You know,
like, you're
crazy?
not even trying to like make this work, or you're not even you said it was all of this, or you tried to act like it was gonna be all of this, and then when you finally get it,
and then I got to know you.
Nah,
that's what it's. That's what it is. I didn't know you for real. You was just cute. Like, you was just something on the screen. Now I'm kicking it with you. I'm seeing your feet. It's all type of shit going on. Like, you can't just assume that the lustful part of me should be the same when we kicking it. I don't know you for real. Now I know you for real. If the shit don't match how I was acting before I knew you, shit, I don't know, twin. Like, you go out your way to make shit seem a certain way when you really. Years. Just me. Somebody go want to fuck you for years. That don't mean that much. Somebody want to fuck you for years.
And then isn't it also weird that you've been trying to chase at a girl for years?
If you're telling me that you ain't respond to a nigga DM for years and he consistently DM'd you, then it would be, I think it's weirder to turn that nigga into your boyfriend than him to keep messaging you. Like, why would you ever message the nigga back? If you've been having a solo conversation for a decade.
I wouldn't say it was a solo conversation. Sometimes you do say, oh, thank you.
Right?
No. Sometimes you'll say thank you. Whatever, like little short.
Send hard eyes back sometimes. Maybe a compliment here or there to keep them on the hook.
No. But that
you.
particular situation, again, that was 2012 through.
Give me another
17.
situation though. You don't ever keep these fans on the hook.
I don't have fans nowadays.
Nah, you don't got no fans.
Nah, she ain't got no fans.
She ain't got no fans. She been losing weight, working out. She ain't got no fans.
She ain't got no fans now.
I see what you post. I'm on your Instagram.
Though.
She don't be post.
Hold on, let me get this straight. Let me just verify.
She don't post.
So that picture on the beach.
I don't know what you talking about.
You was on a
when I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know what you talking about.
So you ain't get no fans off of that? Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about. If you posted a picture with your ass and I missed it, I'm sorry.
I don't post pictures of my ass.
You don't, though. That's your problem.
The most that I would probably do when I used to go to Planet Fitness is a little gym joint, like a little gym picture with it poking. Just to be honest.
Can I be honest?
About what, X? You weren't asked anything.
These niggas is delusional. Okay. Like, and I think women
are delusional.
I think both women and men are delusional. Okay. Here's the thing. You said a perfect word, right? Lust. You said
it is a great word.
You can't act as if my lust is going to be the same once I actually like finally bag you. Most people only know how to deal with the chase. They don't know how to maintain. That's the problem. Like nobody teaches you how to maintain a relationship, how to maintain. They teach you how to chase. They teach you maybe how to spit game, how to get with a person, whatever like that. But they don't teach you how to maintain a relationship. And if you don't know how to maintain a relationship, you have won and got the gold and the prize once I finally got you. That was all I wanted, was finally getting you. To Austin's point, but now I got to get to know you. And maybe, I'm not saying this about you, Des, but some people, once I get to know you, maybe you ain't all that. Like, I've gotten to know dope women who have been baddies, and I was like, oh, you degular. Like, I put you here on this pedestal.
You put on a pedestal.
I put you up on it because I thought, like, yo, baddies got to be. And then when I actually talk to you, it's like, yo, you really ain't all that. You feel me? Like whatever he was looking for or wanted, you may not have fulfilled what it is that he wanted, but also he may have only wanted the thrill of the chase.
You can stink.
And once
Austin.
I mean, I don't think Dad stinks.
No, not you.
But a woman could stink. Yeah.
No, you don't know.
Attitude wise, or you mean like?
I mean,
in all.
Sure. Attitude too. Attitude too.
My point is that I think if you don't know how to maintain a relationship because you ain't never been in a relationship for a longer period of time, if you don't know, if you're not self-aware of who you are and what's going on, if you don't pay attention to like how to adapt and stuff, then your relationship is going to fizzle out because all you know is the chase. Oh, I wanted you for this long. You could get them. They could be like, yo, they got a bad attitude. They got, they feet stink. They don't want nothing. They ain't got nothing to do with their life. Like men are very physical and very like surface level creatures. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not saying that
Ain't
all of
nothing
us don't
wrong with
have
that.
depth, but like it be little stuff that'll sit there and be like, nah, I'm not. I'm
Yo,
good on
so
that.
it's he not wrong. It's shit that is like, yo, I can't. if I vocalize this, it's gonna sound crazy. But in my
Vocalize.
mind,
This is why I'm
No,
bringing
not,
it to y'all because I want to hear the male's perspective.
I'm not talking about like in that. I'm saying like you meet some people, you think you like them, and something really small that might seem obscure will be like, damn, this shit bothered me. One time I was fucking with this girl and she didn't like, she not a moaner, like she just didn't moan, like even if she had a vibrator or some shit, like by herself, would not. She like a deep breather. I ain't like that, like at the time. Cause I'm like, yo, I can't judge my performance like this. Like I don't like this. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if I'm going in the right direction, if I need to make a hard left or something like that. And then when that hard moaning shit, that shit was getting to me. I ain't gonna
So
lie.
you couldn't read her then? Like I feel like
I didn't like having to guess if what I was doing was right. Like, yeah. You got to make some noise or shake.
Did you at one point afterwards or say like, "Yo, is this good?"
I asked, first of all.
I mean,
Did I ask her if it was good?
but that's communicating with
See,
whoever you with.
No.
And that's what makes the actual experience better.
Yeah,
But,
it's not for when I hear.
Here we go. Hold on.
When
Go
I
ahead,
hear
get your
him say something like that, I immediately think of like the fact that like porn, like we hear what porn, what it should sound like, what it should be like, how she should.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know what I'm saying? Because of porn and.
Maybe that was why I thought that.
Could you not feel her and read her to know that
I could
you was doing your work, or
you
maybe
can tell
you
when
wasn't?
a girl is enjoying like whatever, but it's like, yo, this isn't how these events usually go. So
then maybe you wasn't doing it for her. Then
that's
also.
not what I'm.
maybe you wasn't putting it down like you thought you would.
Listen to the words I'm using. It's not. I'm not talking about like whether she was enjoying herself or not. I'm talking about from my point of view in general. I just wasn't as confident in what I was doing because I didn't know for sure. Unless I was really, really paying attention. You don't have to pay attention to the deep breaths and shit like that if somebody going crazy or they like what if somebody's super sensitive down there, you probably not gonna have to do as much crazy work. Like it's just how the shit goes. But eventually I did say something to her. I asked her about it. And she was just like, that's just how I am. I was just like, man, that shit is like throwing me the fuck off.
And what did she say after that?
It's like she was like she enjoys the sex or whatever. I was like, okay. This shit I ended up not dating her for real because it just was weird. I did not date girls because like the arch thing.
Because of the arch?
Bruh.
Because they can't arch their back?
Some girls don't know how to bend over.
That's how you teach them.
We're
You
grown.
show them.
We're
You don't want to
grown-ups.
do that? You lazy?
We're grown ups.
But you're lazy.
Know how to bend over.
No.
No.
Everybody is different. And when you have a partner and you have to learn them, especially in the bed, there's a matter of communication. And because she may not have known exactly what you like and how you like it and how you want her arch to be, you may have lost out on something because you didn't want to speak up.
I don't feel like I lost
That's
out
a
on
problem,
that, man.
Austin.
I don't feel like it's a problem. And I don't feel like I lost
And it
out
sounds
on that, man.
lazy.
It's not lazy. How the fuck am I lazy if I don't show you how to arch your back? It's not like I'm wasting energy.
You don't want to show like you, so you don't care about what you. Obviously, it's like
The
what you
first
like.
time- all right,
so
so
if you
look,
like her to arch her back, then show her how to arch her
first
back.
time you
Tell
hook up
her,
with
move her
somebody-
body, and I bet money she would like that you did
The
that.
first time you hook up with somebody is gonna be the most important time. The first time y'all do something. If the first time y'all do some shit, it's not a bunch of shit just clicking, and I gotta come back with all these handwritten fucking notes, I'm cool. I can go meet somebody and not do all that shit, and we be completely compatible. You know how I know that? Because that was what I was doing before I fucking met you. So why would I then be like, yeah, let me goddamn teach this adult how to arch her fucking back, even though she been fucking since she was 14?
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. I know, but that shit skip. Bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's hard about putting your hand at the back?
He's lazy. So
Yo,
Thank
again,
you.
but here's the
I'm tired of
thing.
this nigga.
Well,
It's
you are
not lazy.
you are lazy,
It's
bro.
not
lazy.
All right.
It's
all
not
right.
lazy.
So
We're
here's the
talking
thing.
about an extra 3. You talking about an extra 3 steps?
Right.
That you didn't wanna
What
do.
you didn't want to
Hey,
do.
man. Hey man, get out.
My point. My point.
Get
my
out.
Point
She's
is
coming
lazy.
over.
But I think also it's not just that men, I believe, are just like low surface type of people. Women are too. Like women will take. You just watch Pop the Balloon, and you can see how surface level like women are sometimes, and men. So it's like I think that there's a lot of things that go wrong in relationship in the thrill and the chase in those first few moments. And if you're not willing to communicate, if you're not willing to give people time or grace or whatever like that, and you just write them off, like it don't have to be even like I know finance is usually the thing that most people go, oh, he ain't making this type of money. It could be simple stuff like, yo, I don't like the fact that you smack when you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand that. Yo.
I gotta get to know somebody.
I gotta get up out of here. You know, and it'd be like that could be a good
but
man.
I also think the people that do the chasing or that's like really trying to go after this girl, they can't keep up with what they tried to bring. Like, they can't keep up with it. So you coming at me at first and saying, oh, all of these things and trying to sound all extra good. But you can only keep that mask on for so long. Because at some point, you get lazy, and that's not who you really are. Because you sitting here trying to show me or trying to prove to me that you this one type of person, and now we a year and a half in, going on 2 years in, and now your true colors is coming out because you can't keep it up.
And that's why I always say, don't send out the representative. Send out your full authentic self so you can always be yourself, and they can choose and you can choose whether or not somebody's going to be with you or not. Because shoot, in 12 years of marriage, right, you get lazy, you get comfortable, you get content. You know what I'm saying? And so there were things that I was doing to get Taj that I'm not doing no more. Not because I don't love her, I don't want to be with her. It's just like, yo, I did that already. But now I'm having to recreate romance in my. That's like my whole world right now.
But you know that in the back of your head that you have to recreate certain things, that you have to kind of maneuver and do new things.
But I know that because now I'm having to be told about it. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
you don't, it doesn't bother you, right? It doesn't hit. It's not it doesn't hit you.
I mean, yeah,
Does it hit
ego.
you?
Yeah, it hit my ego. You know, I'm a type of person, I want to be the best at everything. You know what I'm saying? So if there's an opportunity where I'm not being the best at something, I'm going to take it some type of way. So like in the romance department, we both recognize like, yo, we both need to do better at romance. You know what I'm saying? So I need to do better at showing other stuff that don't got nothing to do with sexuality. It don't have anything to do with me. I'm going to do this so I can get some later on. It's just that I want to show you I love and I appreciate you, which is taking work and intentionality to do it because, like, my initial thought was like, yo, men, again, I told you simple beings. We look at women like slot machines.
Oh my gosh.
If I do this, and that, I should be able to get this.
Stop grouping
right?
me in with you, bro.
All right.
Stop doing that to me.
All right. If I do this, and that, I should get this. A lot of times it don't work that way, especially when it comes to sex and stuff like that. You can hit all the right spots and still not get none. That's just how relationships go, right? So I have to change my mindset, and which I'm going to therapy for. Me and my wife do couples therapy every Friday, and where I'm learning like, no, you still got to be intentional. You still got to want the romance because it impacts her. Like when all you look at her is like a sex toy or whatever like that, it don't make her feel loved and cared about. So, but those are the things that you got to work on. Most people don't want to do the work, which is why relationships, again, fizzle. That's why I could chase you all day, but if I don't know how, that's why people get so caught up in the wedding, but they don't care about the marriage. Like the wedding's just one day, but how you gonna maintain your marriage for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? You know what I'm saying? If you're not sitting there putting in work, if you don't want to pivot, if you don't want to change, if you don't want to evolve, if you don't want to have patience, if you don't want to, sacrifice, if you don't want to say I'm sorry, if you don't want to apologize, if you don't want to forgive, if you don't want to do all the things that it takes to actually make a relationship work, then you're going to be trashed and you're going to be sitting on the sidelines, sitting there wondering why this person is in a relationship. And sometimes it's as simple as, oh, yeah, well, she was, busting it down early. Or maybe she was like, she wasn't busting it down. Or maybe she actually listened to him when he said something. She didn't degrade him and make him feel like a crappy individual. But what do I know? I'm just a married man in a room that's been around for 12 years and actually have a maintain. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to shut up.
I love when he turned into Steve Harvey for like 10 minutes.
Why it got to be Steve Harvey?
It did get there.
Steve Harvey?
You go think like a man every 10 minutes.
But see, the fact that you would even think to associate that with Steve Harvey, why? Because he's actually been in a marriage for a long period of time.
Steve Harvey likes to save other people's marriages.
I mean, I would hope.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Inspirational speech.
What's the point of having a platform,
Go
right?
ahead, brother.
And you sitting there talking about stuff,
right, if
you're not actually impacting nobody? You just wasting space and you wasting time. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? God done gave us an opportunity to sit there and talk to thousands and millions of people at some point. Somebody going to watch this and be like, man, you know what? X actually made a point. I have been able to get in a relationship for 5 years. Maybe it's me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Who are you yelling at?
I don't know. I'm yelling at you.
Yelling at you back.
On another tip, somebody did tell, as we talk about
another
the chase.
tip.
Come on, Austin.
Sorry.
Your child.
Go ahead.
As we were talking about the chase, a guy recently told me that they actually prefer to be chased. Like
Yeah,
they prefer for
please,
the girls.
Cut that out. Excuse me.
They prefer for the girls to chase them, and I just thought that was really interesting to hear because
You gotta cut that out.
what I hit, like y'all's minds is
These new niggas.
y'all wanted, you know what I'm saying? It was like, and I was just, I don't know, it's just interesting to hear him say like, nah, baby, like call me all the time, like let me know, like jump on me and X, Y, and Z. It was just interesting to hear.
That sounds like the same type of men who like to be proposed to.
Sounds like a man that likes a bidet. I don't know too much. I don't know too much about wanting to be chased by women. That shit make me uncomfortable, but that's just me. I
think he just wanted to be, or he just wants to be wanted. Everybody just wants to be wanted.
Yeah, that you can get that
That's
through
fine.
text messages with women. I don't think you need to physically be chased. I don't really think.
Not physically, but you know.
If I'm being serious about like what the fuck you was talking about a second ago, I think that the way we live in like 2025 with so much shit being in your face, it's hoes everywhere. Like Jesus Christ, they everywhere. Every time you open up your phone, it's a new girl, some new person that's famous for having a fat ass. It's all type of shit.
That's actually horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how the world
It's
works.
access.
But
It's just access.
it's exactly. So it's so much access to so many different things, so many different women. Like if you have women in your vicinity that you friendly with, that you can get off your little verbal shit, or y'all like are flirting through the DMs or whatever. Because it don't sound like what you were describing to me. Don't sound like fans. It sounds like you flirting and he flirted and he just like you more than you like him. And
Isn't
that's
that
how
how it's supposed to
girls.
be though? Isn't that how it's supposed
I
to
was
be?
just
He's supposed
calm
to
down,
like
calm
you?
down, big dog.
No, I'm just asking.
Oh, okay.
Isn't he's supposed to like you?
Yeah, I
more
guess.
than
I
the
don't
girl.
know.
No. We're supposed to.
I get
okay.
it. I get it. I know you know the right answer. But the real answer is, I mean, somebody usually likes somebody more in the relationship. Usually it is I mean, this is my thought. Usually it is the nigga, unless, like, usually when it's the other way around, girls be getting abused. Girls usually be getting treated like real shitty when they like the nigga more than he liked them.
But see, in that particular situation, I think it flipped. Like he liked me, obviously a lot, and then I gave him the chance, and then I end up liking him, and I guess I ended up liking him more than he liked me when we got further in, like 2 years in. If that makes any sense.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't fucking know, for real. I mean, like.
It's dead and over with at this point, but.
I'm not, I mean, we done with the top. I was just saying, like, sometimes it's as simple as I didn't know this girl and now I know her, and it's not cool. It's not all of that. Like, you can, like he was just talking about, when you put somebody on a pedestal and you like, man, she fine as hell and all of this other shit, she cool as hell, and then you realize y'all ain't never really had a conversation that lasted for a substantial amount of time, and now y'all on the phone caking, and she don't got that much to say, and you realize she really don't got that much to talk about.
Well, that doesn't relate to my situation.
I'm not you in general,
Yeah.
but just in general.
That'd
like,
be the worst.
when you meet somebody, because I meet
And
girls.
they can't talk.
Yeah, like you meet a lot of girls are so pretty that they go through life and they don't have to develop personalities and shit like that.
That's
and if you
crazy.
really fine, nobody really ever gonna check you on that shit.
Or you find out that y'all don't have as much in common, or you can't see yourself with them the way that you want to. Like,
She wanna go
so
to Juicy Crab.
for instance, I remember I told y'all on the radio show that there was a girl that I had a crush on in college and she got married, and how heartbroken I was, even though I was already married. Right. So I remember taking her out one time. We went out one time, right? And we went out to eat, and then we went to the movies. And when we were talking, I was like, man, like, I can't see myself. Well, I just think our belief systems, where we going, like, I didn't feel that instant spark and that connection. And I've been wanting her since freshman year of college. You know what I'm saying? And she's bad, but it's like also like,
The physical part of her.
The physical part is great. That's not the problem. The problem is that me and either our lifestyles.
I'm saying
or
her
our
physical wasn't enough, basically.
Yeah, it wasn't enough, and I think that sometimes causes problems. Is like the physical is great, but the mental or the depth, and that doesn't mean she's not. I'm not trying to say she ain't smart and she ain't dope or whatever like that. I'm just saying that for us, I didn't give enough chance to see the develop, or I was looking for that one spark, and I think a lot of people are looking for that spark. And once they don't feel that spark, it's kind of like, am I wasting my time? But I want to ask y'all a question. This is an argument that me and Todd, well, not really a real argument, but this is something that we've been going back and forth for.
Okay.
Do you feel like dates should be reciprocal, or do you feel like the man is supposed to be the person who plans the dates and takes on the dates and stuff like that?
Okay, so at what point though? Like at what phase of the?
It don't matter.
It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
I think in the beginning phase, there should be, the guy should definitely put some forth, some effort into it. As you guys begin to get to know each other and get comfortable with one another, I don't think it's a problem for a girl to be like, hey, like let's go out, or let me take you out, or even pay for it.
What's the ratio? Like, how many dates does a man have to take you on before you volunteer, or you say, you know what?
60-40. I say about 60.
So let me get it straight. So 6 dates. I got to take you out on 6 dates before you even offer.
Well, you said percentage.
Yeah, that's 60-40 is right.
Yeah.
That's six dates. After 6 dates, then I should expect, oh, okay, you want to take me
maybe
out?
4 or 5. Maybe 4 or 5 dates.
4 or 5. So 5 dates in.
I'll
Y'all
take
be
that.
at the crib spinning an argument wheel, bro. How y'all end up arguing?
That's a real question. That's
this-
a real
this-
thing, though.
yeah, this-
Because my group chat with my homies, they just put in something in there like last week where this girl had asked this guy on a date, and when they got to pay for the date, it was their first date. They got to pay for the date. The guy was like, "I'm not paying for this. You said let's go out." And so
You asked me out.
you asked me out. So then she started to call him all types of names, call him bitches and gay and this, that, and the third, because he didn't want to pay for the date. And so then she's complaining in the or not in the
Chat.
whatever post we saw that she didn't have any money to pay for the date because she assumed that he was going to pay for it. And he literally walked out on the date and she had to call her mama to then help her pay for the date. One, why are you going out and you ain't got no money like that? Because you don't know
Agreed.
what type of nigga he is.
Facts.
That he might try to go Dutch with you anyways. And so now you stuck with the bill, and then you assume because you didn't have the conversation.
And also, right, you asked him out. I think that's the thing. You got to recognize, if you ask me out, I'm expecting you to take care of it. I'm not coming not being able to take care of it. But if I say, yo, Dez, let's go grab some food, right? I said, Dez, let's go grab some food. You didn't say.
Oh, so the
yo,
next time you say that, and we go down to Colony Square,
then
is
I
that
can
you?
take care. Then I can take care of you
That's what I
because I'm.
make sure.
But how often am I saying, hey?
Yeah.
Let's go grab some. If I'm saying let's go grab some food, that's one thing. But also, this is why we get into these arguments, right? Because I put my foot down. I say, yo, we want to talk about romance, right?
Oh, do you?
I'm sitting here putting up numbers on the dates. When's the last time you took me out on a date? When's the last time you sat there and said, you know what, X, I'm going to do this for you? It's been a while. So I'm not taking you out on another date until you take me out.
So I was right. You do just be at the house starting arguments.
No, I'm not starting arguments, but the problem is she'll bring something up, right? She'll bring an issue up like romance. We don't have romance. Why are we not being romantic? You know what I'm saying? You don't do what you used to do. I'm like, okay, cool, right? I believe romance is a two-way street, right? You need to romance me as well as I romance you. So let me put up these shots. Okay, I'm gonna take you out on a date. Like right now, I'm up 2. I done took her last week on a date.
I'm up 2.
taking her out a date tonight. You know what I'm saying?
I'm up 2.
The
It's
next
her
day-
turn. It's her turn.
I done put up
Check
2.
up.
I done
think-
put
I
up
mean,
2.
I think
Check
like-
ball.
The least you could do if you care about what you say you care about,
Which is you, right?
Which is romance and me, right?
yeah, you.
Then you should be romancing me as well. So
It
it's
should
not.
be.
So it's not like.
I think
but,
it should be like that in a relationship or a marriage.
But the problem is, like you just said, I gotta put up 5. I gotta put up
I said
6.
in the beginning.
Okay,
in
but
the
if
beginning.
this is how we start in the foundation is I gotta put up 6 before you put up 1.
I need to know you. I need to see this is, and it don't even got to be crazy dates. Like we can go to the park. You know, I like park
I
dates
feel
and
you.
stuff like that. We can go to a coffee shop. We can, you know what I'm saying? Just I want to know that you're putting in some type of initiative to try to get to know me and put us in a space where we can spend time with one another. If there comes to a point where I'm like, okay, he done took me here, and here. Okay, I'm gonna take you out because now we feeling each other. Now I see that you like me and I like you, and it's intentional. I see that you have intentions with me.
And I want to know if you consider it enough to even offer.
Yeah, after date 3, 4, or 5.
Sidebar, park dates are terrible objectively. That's one. Two,
You're-
there's no back support.
No.
There's ants. It doesn't make sense.
You're
It don't
crazy.
cost that much.
I took a
It's
girl.
ant. We're
I-
eating on the
I took
floor
a-
like homeless people.
I
It
took a
doesn't
girl
make
to
sense.
Piedmont Park. This is when Rita's used to be up. We went to Rita's, got us some Rita's, walked around the park. Perfect date. You just don't know what you're doing. But continue with your
It's
statement.
not the same. I was talking about a picnic. I'm not talking about just going to the park and walking around, but that's different. But if
I
you
like a
to answer
picnic.
your,
I like a picnic.
I don't
y'all.
enjoy picnics. Picnics are like I hate ants, and I hate like sitting. No, it's just not for me. 9 times out of 10, if you go out with a nigga in the first couple times and he don't try to pay or he not thinking he gonna pay, then you fucking with the wrong nigga, I guess. It's just base level shit. Like obviously, the first time or the first couple of times you go out with a woman, it's on you to pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works. Like it wouldn't be no point in y'all going out. Like you obviously wanted to go out with her, or you like I don't know. In my experience, I ain't never seen it play out the other way. Like yeah, it's one thing where a girl is like, well, we should go meet here and hang out and some shit like that. But a first date, like why would I not pay for a first date? You trying to make? I was just talking about the first time you hook up. First impressions are important.
I agree.
You was talking about like introducing the lifestyle and not maintaining it and shit like that. Like I guess you weren't talking about lifestyle, just behavior and shit like that. But it go for shit like this too. Like I'm not finna be. I'm not, like y'all know I don't like going out all the time, but obviously I know it's gonna be a time where I gotta go. We have to go out and do things. When it's time to do that, it's also my role in the relationship. At least the first couple of times, I'ma handle it. It just makes sense. It don't doing anything opposed to that literally just would be detrimental to your relationship. I don't really see the point in it. I feel what you're saying. I mean, you and her can go back and forth. Y'all been married for a fucking decade. I'm pretty sure y'all can do the tennis back and forth with the date nights, and it not really matter. You can be up 2, and then she can go up 3. It sounds like she never goes up 3 according to you, but I'm sure if I asked her, she would say, "Yeah, I go up sometimes."
She's never, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
cap on your wife.
objective. She's never gone up 3. She might.
She did have your children.
Period.
That is true.
See how
I
they
can't-
can win?
I can't. I can't.
See that right there? See how
I
simple that
can't
shit
deny-
is?
You're right. She did have my children.
I'm
That is
saying
correct.
natural. I don't know.
Yeah, they were natural.
I don't know.
She a
It's
beast.
harder if it's natural, right?
It is.
Yeah, come on.
She a beast.
You a
Yes.
soldier. Anyway, switching gears, we were talking about the morning show. It's not an old show. A show from like 2019 on Apple TV. The morning show stars. What's the girl?
Steve Carell.
No, the lady.
Jennifer
Aniston. I always forget what Jennifer Aniston famous for.
Friends.
Oh, Friends.
She's famous for a lot of stuff, and she was with Brad Pitt.
Oh, I was
And
just thinking the Friends.
She was with Brad Pitt before Angelina Jolie was with Brad Pitt.
I'm
Brad Pitt
always
left
thinking
her.
about Friends though.
He did
For
leave her.
Angelina Jolie.
He did leave her for Angelina
Oh, I remember
Jolie.
that when I was a kid. I remember seeing that because they Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? That's when they got
Just when
together.
they, yep.
Yep. Mhm.
But so they do a show. It's called The Morning Show. I'm pretty sure the new season coming out in August. Episode 8 of season 1
On
is
Apple TV.
on Apple TV. Yeah. Episode 8 of season 1. Basically, so just to give you a quick synopsis of what the show is, it's basically like a spoof of what's the joint? Good Morning America. So basically, it would be Good Morning America, 2 hosts, male, female, parents of America, blah blah blah. First episode starts. Steve Carell's character that is like the lead anchor. Lead anchor on the show. He gets fired because of sexual misconduct, and it wasn't just like he was out here just taking pussy and running around and shit like that. He was fired because he was having sex with people that were under him, and they were uncomfortable, or at least some of them went forward and said they were uncomfortable. And he's adamant.
After he had sex with them?
Yeah, he had sex with. This was going on for years. He was having sex with him, and he might. Let's say he had a relationship with this one girl that lasted a year. After they broke up, he was cheating on his wife with her. After they broke up, she was a producer on his team, and he went to the bosses and was like, "Yeah, I'm good on her being my producer," and basically had her
Got her
demoted.
fired.
No, he didn't
No,
get her
you got to
fired.
move to another
Gotta
team.
move to
the
another
other
team.
anchor.
Oh, okay.
But she basically saw that as a demotion because he was the lead anchor, and he offered her to his co-host, which is Jennifer Aniston. She didn't want her either. She was like, "Oh, I don't want this fucking trash." Or after he basically was what she said. I don't want
Her sloppy seconds.
His sloppy seconds is what she said. So basically, episode 8 of the season, because they give you the entire time they're just talking about what's going on like in the past. They actually take you back and they let you see what exactly this dude was doing that was so wrong, right? And they take you to a time where he hooked up with one of his new producers during the remote. So during the remote, basically they take you back through and they let you see exactly his point of view and her point of view, right? And I'm not gonna lie, like when I was watching it initially, I was like, damn, okay, maybe she tripping. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, because the dude was adamant the entire show. I ain't raped nobody. I ain't made nobody do something that they don't want to do. I haven't put nobody in a situation that they don't want to be in. He was adamant about that. He was like freaking out because his life was being taken away and stuff like that. Because it's pretty accurate to the Me Too movement. Like basically it came out and his career was basically taken away. So I'm looking at that like, okay, is this fair? Is he being railroaded? Did he actually do something that was misbehaving? So when they actually show you what the nigga did, it's kind of eye-opening. So X, you watched episode 2, right?
I did.
So what did you think when you saw episode 8 and you actually got to go back and see what actually transpired? Because when I was watching it initially, my thoughts were, okay, this girl clearly, like, maybe she just didn't like how things ended and she's overreacting. And by the end of the episode, I felt like, oh, this dude's nasty. This is a nasty kind of guy. He never, even at the end of it though, he didn't see where he was wrong in what he did. And he ended up yelling at the girl and she ended up killing herself. I
didn't know that part. I mean, clearly I only saw that one episode. So.
After that, eventually she ended up, because she goes to him and she's like, yo, I can help you, because she wanted to go public to prove that the people above her knew that it was sexual misconduct going on. And he was like, he went to her to ask her for help, because he was like, yo, you remember when you had sex with me and used that to get a promotion to become the lead booker on the show? I want you to tell people about that so they'll know that there's a history of them knowing about me having sex with the producers on the show. And she came to him and was like, yo, listen, I'll help you, but I want you to know I don't remember that the way you remember that shit. And he was like, what? And then she told him basically, yo, I went up there. They basically were on a remote. They went to New York for a remote for a mass shooting in Las Vegas. I'm sure you remember when that nigga was shooting people in Las Vegas. They go to a remote. He sees her. He decides to kick it with her, wind and dine her, walk her around Las Vegas while they talk and spend time together. Now, Steve Carell is like 50 in this show, and this girl would have been like in her 20s, like her late 20s or some shit like that. They're walking around. They get something to eat. They still walking around talking. He invites her to her room. They go up to the room. They still talking. I think they had like wine or something, right?
Yeah, they was watching a movie.
Watching the movie, talking, laughing, drinking, having fun. Eventually, they start. So eventually, he goes to make his move, and they showing you her face and him. She's clearly uncomfortable, but she hasn't said anything. She's giving him no indication that she doesn't want to have sex with him. She hasn't said no. She hasn't pulled away. The only thing she says the entire time that would give you pause is, I wasn't expecting all this. Or I wasn't expecting this when I came up here. From his point of view, that's all that happens. And they ended up having sex. He like went down on her and ended up having sex. From her point of view, she said she went up to the room because, first of all, you the nigga that runs the state, you run the news station. You the biggest person here. I thought you saw something in me and wanted to be like my mentor. I thought you were walking me around because you were taking an interest in me. I thought you were inviting me to your room because you were interested in me.
They had different perspectives.
Yeah, but he was like, yo, you fucking smart. Why the fuck would I invite you to my hotel room, have drinks with you, and all this other shit if I don't want to have sex with you? That was his argument. And her argument was, I didn't think you would want to be trying to have sex with me.
So she was naive a little bit.
So they ended up doing whatever, and what did you take away from the episode? Did you feel like he was in the wrong clearly?
Yes, I do think he was in the wrong. I think he was a creep from the first 5 minutes of the episode. I could already tell. I was like, oh, something's wrong with you. Like the way he was moving just
he moved like a powerful dude.
Gave creep vibes though. Like, you know what I mean? Like the little innuendos he would say to his co-host, the way that he would touch her sometimes.
But see, look, they also have had sex.
See, I had no clue of that context prior to watching the episode.
But they had consensual, like she had consensual sex with him.
Yeah.
They had their kind of relationship.
They was calling each other honey and all this stuff, and be like, yo, why don't you wear a dress like this? And why don't you, it was just giving off like real creep. Like, yo, you a real creep.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
so
work.
When I saw them in Vegas, and I could tell, first of all, what Austin isn't telling you, right? They're just witnessing a mass shooting in a Vegas casino. Yeah, but so when Steve walks into to be with Gigi, she was sad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sad.
saying? She was.
So she needed a little.
He saw that she was sad.
Yeah, he saw that
he
she was.
took advantage.
Exactly.
I don't
Yes,
see-
he
I
took
don't-
advantage, bro.
I can't say that.
Yes, you can. He saw her in a vulnerable state.
That is true.
And was like, yo, let me try to,
You know what? I can't say
make
that.
you
That is
feel a little
exactly
better.
what
So
it
he
is.
walks her around. He says,
Yeah.
yo, you know what helps me to feel better is this or whatever like that. Hey, I got this
Yeah.
movie. Why don't you come watch the movie? She's like, okay, sure. Again, she's like, yo, this dude, first of all, he got me. He saw that I did something good, right? He got me out here to Vegas. He put me in this situation. This is my first job. I'm trying to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really takes a liking to me.
Pause
Which
right there.
again, I
Pause
feel
right
like this is where we go back to delusional, right?
Right. There you go.
Men and women don't really know
Exactly
how
what's
each
going
other
on.
operate
Exactly.
when somebody said, because you'll think somebody just trying to be your friend. I tell my wife this all the time. He ain't trying to be your friend, bro, just because he's trying to be nice to you. No, like there's an ulterior motive. No one ever believes me, and then you see this situation happens. Okay, so they go up to the room, they watching the thing. She says, "Yo, I think it's time to go."
I remember saying that.
Yes, she says, I think I probably should get up out of here. She's like,
Oh, yeah, that's
okay,
when he
cool.
make his
So then
move.
he gives her a hug,
Yeah.
and he's holding her real tight, and you can see in her eyes, she's like, yo,
What's happening?
He
why
can't
you-
see her face.
Why? Yeah,
He
he
just
just
giving
holding
her
her
a hug.
tight. You know what I'm saying? And then she
Everything
pulls back,
he
and he
said.
moves in, and he kisses her, and she's like, her eyes are still open. Ain't like she's closing her eyes, getting all
She's not
into
into it.
She's not into it.
Again, though, nothing that he can. There's no way of him other than asking questions.
So let's, make it quicker. Is what happens here like? Does she move after he gives her a kiss? Does he move forward, or now are
They
we
have
looking at
sex.
rape?
No, they
He
have
moved-
sex. She never says that she doesn't want to have sex. But after the fact, this is what set her off, which made her go. So what ends up happening is they go back to work. When they get back to work, she was fine. Like after it happened, she was fine. When they came back, they had seen each other talk or whatever. When they
She wasn't fine, bro.
She was fine.
She wasn't fine, no.
She wasn't like distraught. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
When she went back to work though, and they got to work, she saw him at work, and he walked past her like he had never seen her before, and that was when that was what finally set her off, and she was like, well, fuck this dude, and then that's when she went to the people at her job, and when she went to the people at her job, she said, yo, the Steve Carell had sex with me when we were at the remote, and I didn't want to do it. Like, not she told him not to, but she didn't want to do it. And I remember when she was talking to him, she told him she couldn't find the words, is what she told him.
Okay.
So she said she went to the people that ran the company and said, yo, Steve Carell did this. And the dude had never heard of her before. But then he was like, what's your name? And then she told her name. He was like, you know what? I've heard about you. You do good work. You're going to be our new head booker. And she was like, this is how it happens? Like, instead of handling that, we're going to give you a promotion so that you
You
don't
can shut up.
Yeah, to shut you up so you don't go back. So my thing about like watching the episode is like when I watched it, all I was thinking was I could see why he would think he didn't do anything wrong. I could understand why. Everything X was just talking about, old niggas think shit like that is game. Old niggas think, oh, this is the perfect time to go talk to her. I walked her around. Oh, now it's the end of the night. Now I'm going to make my move. If you don't say nothing, then they're going to think they can go past go. I was watching that shit the whole time thinking like little middle school kids should see this so they can learn that asking questions is okay. If he would have asked questions, the thing that both of us didn't say is he didn't ask her one time how she felt. He didn't say, yo, how are you? How is this? Like, are you cool? Do you need anything? Even like when
There
she
was
like-
no consent.
So he
given.
thought about himself the entire
He
time.
was just
Facts.
thinking about himself. Exactly. So to me, that was like off my first watch. I was like, the biggest thing this nigga did was he just was like thinking about himself. He was just trying to fuck. He wasn't asking questions like, yo, are you good? Is this okay? He didn't ask her one thing, but she didn't say anything to make him think that he was doing something
Otherwise.
wrong. So all I was thinking was, yo, when you dealing with these gray area situations as a man and as a young man, it ain't no problem with asking questions, bro. It's not gonna kill the mood to ask her if she okay, to ask her if she wants you to do this, to ask her if she wants you to do that. But I think old niggas and a lot of like niggas that don't got people in their lives that like tell them the right thing. Once you, like you was just talking about, you see a lot of shit and you act it out. So you watching porn your whole life. Now you finally get some pussy. They don't ask for consent in the porn all the time.
Yeah.
For the most part, they get right to it. You thinking you don't want to kill the mood, thinking you want to be Mr. Porno star, Mr. Marcus and shit like that. And now she telling people that you forced yourself on her when you could have just asked her if she was cool in the moment. Because when I was watching the shit, the entire thing could have been avoided if he would have stopped when she said whatever the fuck she said. And be like, "Are you cool? Are you okay?"
But I think
she also could have said,
and that's the other side of it that we not. You.
But I can understand where she's saying I was a little bit at a loss for words because you have somebody who is a bit of a superior at work.
Is that his
You
fault?
have somebody. It's not about fault. Let me finish. You have somebody who is a superior at work. You're in this now predicament where you don't know what to do because now your job may be at line, your position or whatever the case may be. So you can be at a loss for words. You just saw, let's take everything for context. You just saw a shooting in Las Vegas and now you're a little distraught because people have died and now you got to cover it. And so now you thought somebody was here to comfort you or somebody was here to help you get through these things, but they have a different motive to it. And then you see it and you can be at a loss for words for things like that. I can understand that part of her, but another part of her could have also, if she was strong enough, and these are for women in general, if you are strong enough to speak up for yourself and know and be aware of these particular type of situations, is to sit here and say, "Nah, I'm good. No, I don't want to do this." And I think that's a problem. It don't matter how old you are. People have they kind of have an issue of saying no.
Yeah, some
in
people
general.
And I always, my take is always like, why we always want to put it on the victims to sit there and have to speak up. But no, we need to hold men accountable as well,
Yeah,
or
that
people
too,
in
yeah.
power, because I know there are women who take advantage of men as well. So I'm not trying to make it, but if you're in a place of power, there's something called emotional intelligence for a reason, and reading the room. Like, you got to sit there. I'm not going to make no excuse for you because she didn't say no, but you got to check. That's why we talked about, like, even reading body language. Like, you got to read body language. You got to sit there and look and watch and see, like, is she okay? Is she comfortable with this?
Hey.
Old men, young
But
men,
this
or whatever
honestly,
like that.
this whole thing sounds like a communication. Because
It
even when they
was.
got to work and he ignored her or he didn't say
Exactly.
anything, that ticked her off. But if they had a conversation where he'd be like, "Okay, now we're going to go into the workplace and I'm not even going to say nothing to you right now."
You can't be Mr. Bitches at work and do that. You like when I saw him do that, I was like, "Oh, it's over with." I'm sorry. When I saw him walk past her without speaking, I was like, "Oh, it's up." You can't walk past a fucking girl after y'all have hooked up and like
not acknowledge her at all.
Like, he didn't acknowledge
But even if
her
you
at
weren't
all.
going to acknowledge her, at least have the conversation and be like, "Now we're at work and it's got to be played off this way, but I still,
And that's-
whatever."
When
He said hello. I mean, not
He
acknowledge.
just nodded at her.
He just was like, "Hi," and then kept it moving. But he didn't have no conversation with her or whatever like that, which ticked her off, which I felt like she was fine. But also the power dynamic of like, oh, this other man who knows that this person is your golden goose, you don't want to get him fired.
And
Or
she's
now
black.
there takes...
And she was black?
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
black.
he
All
was
these
white
women
and she
he
was
like-
black. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
hell.
Most of the women he went out, he ended up killing himself at the end of this.
She did?
She did, and he did eventually, because when she killed herself, he
fell on him.
He legitimately did not feel like he had done something wrong. Even when she told him, "Yo, the way you remember that happening is not how I remember that happening, and that's not how I felt in the moment." He flipped the fuck out and was like, "Yo, why do you want me to feel like a piece of shit when all we did was have sex? I didn't rape you. I didn't make you do anything. You didn't tell me not to do anything."
But it wasn't consensual.
But it I don't know how to explain
To a
it. Like,
degree.
it was consensual if you like. I don't know. She never told him not to do anything.
Because she was at a loss of
they-
words. They were hooking up or they
How can
hooked
I-
up.
So they
This is a
hooked
different.
up.
This is a problem. This is a topic of consent. Like, what is
Exactly.
consent and what is not? Just because I allow you to lay with me does not mean I consent to it. Like, there needs to be a question asked, or there needs to be a mutual understanding.
Some
Are you
kinda-
okay with this? Are you sure with this?
And
You know
that's
what
how I
mean?
live now. But I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I'm born at a different time, or if I'm 55 years old, I would think like that. Like, I would have that kind of like
process.
emotional thought. Yeah, like thinking about like what she not saying and shit like that. When if you 50 years old, and from that point of view, they were saying he had been in the business for 40 years or some shit like that. That means you came in the 80s when I'm sure dealing with women and shit at work.
You probably did this before. It's not a
Did
first.
did it plenty of times. So even I'm not trying to defend him because like at the end of the episode, I did think like, okay, this nigga didn't ask questions, and I would have asked questions so I could see where he went wrong. But when I'm listening to him explain what he thought and what he was seeing, it's hard to be like, yo, this dude intentionally did something to this girl. He did, like, to what it seemed like he decided he could try to hit her because she was having a down night.
And that's
scummy, but it's not illegal. Like morally wrong, I guess.
But what I'm saying is it's not illegal, but that's where I have you at fault. At that moment where you decided in your mind that you thought this was a good idea
to try to have sex with her because she wasn't having a good day.
That's where I'm like,
you're taking advantage.
You took advantage of her, period.
And at the same time, when he was talking to her, he was like, listen, you have a fucking master's degree. You almost 30 years old. I think you're intelligent. I fucking wouldn't have tried to fuck you if I thought you was stupid. Why on earth would I think that you don't understand why I'm inviting you to my hotel room in the middle of it was like the middle of the morning or the middle of the night when
I think emotional intelligence and intelligence are two different things.
I think they are too.
Facts.
I just get confused. I just think that it's a really, really gray area. And like when I was watching it, I ain't never seen it laid out to the point where it's like, yo, this shit could have gone.
Can get people caught up.
This shit could have gone legitimately either way. Let's say he does all the shit that she wants. He speaks to her. He has a conversation after sex and stuff like that that makes her feel confident in where she is and her situation. Does she even go to the bosses? Because she went to the bosses after he walked by and ignored her. She didn't go into work thinking that she was going to do that. And it was a history. It was a repeated history. So I understand also when she says, like, yo, I couldn't find the words, because her thought process was, I know for a fact that this nigga moved girls around once he done with them. And I don't want him to be done with me, so it's like, eh. But the other girl, the other black woman that he was with, that he had that year-long relationship with, said that everybody misunderstood him when he ended up dying. And she was sad that the nigga died, even though everybody hated him. The co-host, sad when the nigga died, even though everybody hated him. The people that knew him didn't think he was actually like that. The people that had consensual sex with him didn't think he was like that. But when it came down to it, him being a pig was kind of enough to kill him.
I always say two things can be true at the same time. You know what I'm
They
saying?
can.
So, but let us know what you think. You know, drop a comment, share, like,
If you've
subscribe.
seen it.
If you've seen the show.
If you've seen it, you know, or even what do you think about the topic too? You know, let us know what you think. Definitely tap in with us the next time you see us. You know what I mean? Austin, tell us where they can follow us.
You can follow us, VIS Unfiltered ATL on YouTube. What's our Instagram? VIS Unfiltered?
Radio ATL.
Radio ATL. Talking about Odyssey, the podcast.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Personal?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been promoting your pod, by the way.
I appreciate y'all.
I'll
Yeah.
send the invoice.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead though.
My personal Instagram, I guess, or podcast is Odyssey the podcast. That's ODESSEY the podcast. I feel like Austin don't want to be up there because we sit outside.
I was just gonna say y'all sit on the ground too, huh?
We sit outside. Yep.
I get some chairs over there.
No. It's picnic style for sure. So yeah, but you can follow us. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, share, all that for Voices in the Streets Unfiltered.
Definitely. Tell them where to follow you at, Austin.
LRK so stupid.
Follow me at I'm Xavier Brandon on all social media. Man, it's Voice in the Streets, Unfiltered, the podcast. We'll see you next time. Later.
Finna go lay up.